Welcome to a community of learners. Throughout this presentation, we will discuss what a community of learners is, my current classroom approach, changes I plan to make, how to serve diverse learners, and what can be shared with colleagues. Let's dive in. What is a community of learners? A community of learners is a learner-centered where teachers act more as a facilitator. Students become more active in the classroom and begin learning from one another through collaboration. Sanders explains that each student is unique with different learning styles, strengths, and weaknesses. A community of learners helps support all students in the classroom. Bishop et al. Reports that in a learner-centered classroom, students are required to take on new learning roles and responsibilities beyond just taking notes, listening to teachers teach, and passing exams. When I reflect on my current approach to the community of learners in my classroom, I see students collaborating and discussing happening routinely. I invite students to share their thinking and support one another in their learning. I also encourage students to explore new ways to solve problems. There is always room for improvement in any educational setting. Changes I would make in my classroom are to incorporate more cooperative learning and problem-based learning to motivate and engage students. Problem-based learning gives students a task that is larger than simply just being a student. I would also like to share more of our learning with families in order to bridge the gap between home and school. Oftentimes, families can provide meaningful opportunities for your classroom. Finally, I would connect the learning through multiple subject areas to build purpose and support engagement. A learner-centered classroom can help serve diverse learners in a variety of ways. For example, it allows for ample ways to differentiate. Parsons et al. Says that to best meet students' diverse needs, teachers must differentiate their instruction. Another way a learner-centered classroom supports diverse students is through collaboration. This supports language development and builds community in the classroom. If I were to conduct a learning-centered professional development session, I would plan on teachers gaining hands-on experience. Show them what it feels like to be in a learner-centered classroom. I would model this approach through professional development by posing open-ended questions and asking them to work together. Observational opportunities would be offered, and collaborative lesson planning between teams would also be encouraged. The biggest takeaways to share with colleagues are the importance of building relationships with students and their families. In a learner-centered classroom, teachers step out of their comfort zone and become facilitators to student learning. Students take on a hands-on approach to teaching and learning from one another. Finally, I would ask my colleagues to be open to new ideas. Just because something has always been done one way doesn't mean it should stay that way. Change can be great. Ellerbrock and Kiefer explained that researchers have investigated variables related to care in schools, including sense of belongingness, relatedness, social support, attachment, affiliation, and connectedness, all of which can be supported by a community of learners and in the learner-centered classroom.